60% of like Latinos and blacks in New York City is being assisted. It sucks. I mean, I don't know how.
I have like a housing related answer to this, which is the United States has relatively few construction workers compared to Europe, which is always kind of goes against what you would assume. And something that I learned is that there's like a very strong system of technical education in Europe. Some people think it's like a little unfair. Like in Germany, at like age 12, they decide like are you going to become a construction worker, or are you going to become a white collar professional. But in general, they have a quite strong system of technical education, and like it really like prepares you. Like in America, these jobs are now like quite well paying. An elevator technician in New York City, like a union one, makes like over $70 an hour, plus $30 an hour in benefits, plus if it's overtime, I think like double. So, or like an electrician, plumber, like those kind of construction jobs are very good, but like we don't prepare for them at all. Like there's very little technical education in schools. It's really like America's really geared towards educating people for white collar educations and white collar careers. And it seems like we've gone like a little too far in that direction, and there should be a stronger technical education, and it would solve like construction labor in America is unbelievably expensive, and it would solve a lot of those issues in life. Like America, it's actually a major.
Or it's a two-sided problem. You could attach people to opportunity, and actually, the construction labor we need to solve our housing crisis.
Yeah, and like there's like existing construction workers don't love the idea of more technical. Like you know, like it's their benefit if no one else gets in the trades, but like it would be quite good if there were more people who knew how to like swing around.
Could increasing immigration kind of help that problem, or is that even more difficult by it?
It would. Yeah. Oh, okay. So like another thing about Europe is my mother is Romanian, and you know in like the 2000s when like Romania, Poland, and Eastern European states were like admitted to the European Union, there was this like huge like panic over it, like the Polish plumber moves to take all the French people's jobs, and now you know like the Ukrainian men all like got to fight. It's like where the fuck are construction workers? Like they're really like the Eastern European workers have become like incredibly valuable to Western Europe, and like now you know Germany they're trying to like import workers from Kenya. Like the United States really could use more immigration from its neighbors for construction labor in particular. And like if you think about you know I mean a lot of our construction labor is from Latin America, it's just undocumented. If you think about if you go on like TikTok and Spanish construction worker TikTok, they're like we don't want to be consistent. We want permission to work and more importantly permission to travel. Because like when I go to see my mother in Romania, I'm on this plane, like everyone on the plane is like because they're really cheap, so I fly with low cost airline. Like everyone's a construction worker and they're going home to see their families. Whereas like if you're an undocumented worker from Latin America here, like you can't go home. Or if you do go home, you have to pay $10,000 to Coyote to get back in the United States. So like yeah, it's a big problem. At some point a switch is gonna flip and every developed nation is gonna realize like we have a horrible demographic crisis and we need all the immigrants we can get. It hasn't happened yet, but in Europe it did happen. Like the income differential between Eastern Europe and Western Europe is still quite high. It's shrinking rapidly, but like it's still quite high. Whereas in the United States, you know, our American Union is just the United States, just like Mississippi to New York, I guess.
I'm originally from Poland, and my family still lives there, and it's happening there that the same thing that has come to the Western Europe in terms of the society becomes richer, fewer and fewer people go into construction and so on. The same thing is happening in Eastern Europe now. Like for even a few years, Poland has had the same issue with too few construction workers, and now because of a lot of the Ukrainian refugees, like all of them are like working on like a lot of the construction that is happening is for Ukrainian workers, even though a lot of them are not. They haven't been trained as contractors. Like a lot of the people who are coming out of Ukraine are like IT specialists, like people who have a lot of experience, but because they are willing to do anything really, that going into these jobs as well. Like my parents are currently moving, and they are having a construction site, and like the half of the staff, like the management is Polish, but all of the workers are Ukrainian, and it's interesting that there seems to be like this natural belief that okay, now we are a richer society, so we have to move all to white collar jobs and so on. And on one side, I think that immigration is crucial here, but also I think that it's going to sort of naturally, like, the market should technically move us towards going back to construction. Like,
There won't be enough immigrants. Like,
Yeah, exactly, there isn't enough.
Poland, like, before the war, Russians could apply for like a 2-year work permit, as I understand. And like, there's not gonna, like, even if there hadn't been a war, like, there's not gonna be very many Russians. You know, look at the demographic trends. And like, yeah, there's not gonna be enough immigrants. They're gonna have to, I mean, it's already starting to happen in America. Like now, some of the electricians, like, we got money, you know. So that'll happen, but also like capital will have to replace labor. Increasingly, like things will become mechanized. Like more and more construction will have to happen in factories where it can happen more efficiently, more use of cranes, more use of, I've seen like a robot that can paint. Like they'll have to, yes, they'll like people from wealthy nations are going to have to, like our attitudes towards like construction trades are going to have to change, and we're going to have to start mechanizing more work, and we're going to have to take what immigrants we can while we can, probably towards the end of our lifetime, so there'll be no more immigrants. So.
On the construction cost side, and you talked a little bit before about, we talked about building coalitions